Okay, so now we've talked about how I particularly put some pieces together. Let's talk about other things besides document camera talking to you like this, and besides, I'm sorry, a webcam and a document camera for things like that. Let's talk about different ways that we can actually create content for students. Another way we could create content is actually with the little document camera. And instead of doing math demonstrations, I don't understand why we would ever do another science demonstration set of directions live. Now, there are times where you definitely, for safety purposes, want to do that, but in general, why not, for a set of various science experiments, why not do an example component of the experiment and then stop it just where the students need to do their part so that they can not only read the directions, they can see what they're up to and follow through on the process. So live demonstration is a great way with either a webcam or with a document camera, but there are others as well. Earlier this fall, I went to Milwaukee to do a presentation, and in that I had the opportunity to go to a science museum. And in that science museum, they had some great demos of some really good science stuff. But of course, science and math are so intimately related. So I was able to walk around the museum with nothing more than my cell phone and talk about the linear and angular velocity of the various gears, or how information or pressure or force was transferred. We're able to do that in a way with equipment that I don't have at my disposal normally. One of my best examples is this right here. It's a guitar they've gutted and strung up around a drum that has white and black lines. When they spin the drum, it actually shows you the various waveforms that are actually making the music. So they had a great display, far better display than I could ever do in my classroom. But because I have my cell phone with me, it's still me talking to the students, and I'm taking them on a journey with me. So again, it's that opportunity to go elsewhere and bring that knowledge back into the classroom. Or even if you're not in the classroom, to take that knowledge and ship it back to the classroom digitally. We also have a large farm trade show that comes here, and actually the day of the farm show I did some live streaming back to the high school to the kids' emails accounts so that they could watch my experience throughout the course of the day as I looked for various careers and talked to various experts that we would never have time to bring into the high school. So there's opportunities to bring this idea of the digital into the classroom, but the kicker is you have to have some sort of framework, whether it's an LMS, whether it's some sort of Google Classroom, or like the document that you've seen that I use for the Google Slides. Some document or a learning map. Another great way to bring information into the classroom is podcasts. I enjoy podcasts, and this particular podcast from 99% Invisible is all about the design of airplane cockpits and the fact that the reason we even have small, medium, and large size uniforms was actually Abe Lincoln in the Civil War. So interesting components like this that again are math related, that they're going to be not necessarily a math problem to do, or maybe it's an art thing with the Bauhaus, or you have something architecture, so you have science, and maybe it's not absolutely direct to a problem that the kids have to do, but these are great setups for math content. Or why do we use this? Why does it matter? Why do you have small, medium, and large? It's all the concept of average Algebra 1 students. And I can take that same thing and I can apply it to different classes. In fact, the video of the engine that I showed you a bit earlier is actually going to be used in multiple classes. One is for the pre-calculus and the sinusoidal wave. The other one is in Calculus 2, where in the variable valve timing, I'm going to be looking at the difference between the two curves and why it keeps the valve open longer if it follows a different curvature path. This is all stuff that can be brought into the classroom. So use your phone. Use something like a microphone. Now, by the way, although this is a fancy microphone, I do an entire podcast with my coworkers right off of this phone right here. These things are amazing. They also can create wonderful document cameras. They can also create wonderful recorders of either you or someone else or something else. So you already have this in most cases. Use it to your best advantage. Whatever technology we can bring to bear to the classroom, then let's do it. So those are some really good components that you might consider using of other ways to get information to your students. Now, one thing that I have kind of been using that we haven't really been talking about, and that is actually screencasting. What you see from me right here and all this stuff, let's see here, yes, over this way on the screen, so it's kind of backwards if I'm looking at it. All of this stuff is done with screencast. All I'm doing is recording what's on my computer screen. And the way I'm doing it is with an application and a website called Screencast-O-Matic. Now, Screencast-O-Matic is like many other screencasting programs in that it will record what's going on your screen. Screencast-O-Matic is kind of nice because it also has a video editor opportunity, and it also has some cloud-based storage worked into it. Now, there's a free level, then there's a pay level, but even the pay level is it's like 15 or 18 bucks. It's 18 bucks a year. I mean, folks, for the amount of content that I've created just in these vlogs alone, I'm paying almost nothing, and they're storing it. And the nice thing is it moves directly over to YouTube, because if you have a Google Gmail account, you can have a free YouTube account. None of this stuff is exceedingly challenging to do. I'm not going to go into the details on it, but it's really nothing more than clicking the record button and choosing your choices and everything that shows up on your screen.